I'm Judy Zelina. This is the Millcreek Government Channel. Habitat for Humanity was founded by Millard Fuller in 1976. It was 13 years later that Reverend James McCormick brought the concept of Habitat for Humanity to the Erie area. In 1989, with seed money from the Erie Community Foundation, the Erie affiliate was launched. Utilizing initial volunteers, the first Erie Habitat for Humanity house was completed in 1991. Since that time, volunteers have constructed or rehabbed over 65 Habitat houses. This means that over 65 families now have a simple, decent place to live and raise their families. Joining us today to talk about Habitat's process, their success stories and needs is Nancy Milkowski, the Executive Director. Nancy, it's so good to have you on the show again.
Thank you for the invitation.
Well, you always have something in the works, and this time, of course, is no exception. You've got some exciting news for the viewers today, don't you?
We do have exciting news. So we have recently moved locations. So most people are familiar with us being at the corner of 9th and Parade.
Correct.
And so now we have moved into a much larger facility at 4922 Pittsburgh Avenue.
Oh, that's in the industrial park up in there?
Yes.
Okay.
The one
right
above,
off of Grandview?
That's correct.
Great.
So we have more than tripled our space, which we are super excited about.
Well, you needed to, quite honestly.
For sure. So our store is bigger, our office space is a little larger, and we've been able to also house our complete construction wing. So we are now all in one facility, which is great.
Now, we're talking about the Restore. Some of our viewers may not be familiar with the Restore. Can you tell them what this entails?
Sure. So a Restore is a store that's open to the public. We sell new and used building materials and home goods. So if people are doing things where they are remodeling, if they have things that are still in good condition, instead of the items going to the landfill or just being thrown out in some capacity, they can actually be donated. And then those items can be reused in people's homes that are trying to upgrade and do some things that are different. It's really a great way to recycle and repurpose. So all the people that are watching all those DIY kind of programs, and it's very interesting to see what people create. They don't always use items in a traditional manner. So we accept items during the week, and then our store is open Saturdays to the public. Everyone is welcome to come. We're open all day on Saturdays, and then the money that we raise out of our store helps us buy materials for new Habitat houses.
Okay.
So it really is the ultimate in recycling that ultimately helps our community get stronger as we provide an opportunity for home ownership.
I think it's a great idea. Now, you're talking about donating during the week. Are you there every day during the week that I could just put it in the back of my car and drive it to you, or do I have to call and set up a time?
So we're there accepting donations Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're there from 9:30 to 2:30 accepting items. On Thursdays, we accept items in the morning only. In the afternoon, for larger pickups, we're actually out on pickups. And so our trucks are not there. So if somebody they're remodeling a whole kitchen and want to donate all the cabinets and don't have a way to get it to us, they can call us and we'll schedule a time to come and get it.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
Yes. Yeah.
You make it easy.
We try.
I know Nancy, we've worked together too. When Millcreek has its special events collection, you always bring one of your trucks, and we promote people who have any items like that to bring them. And then this way they can just drop them off in your truck there.
Yes.
So we try and work with you too, because it's just such a great idea.
Yeah, so because sometimes people don't know what to do with the extra building materials. And so if you redo a floor and you have extra boxes of tile, if you bought an extra gallon of paint that you didn't use, those kinds of things, instead of it taking up space in your home, you can actually donate those items, and then other people can use those items to do projects in their own homes.
Nancy, you were talking like some paint or cabinets, but what else? What else would I be able to find if I came to the store?
Oh, at the store you can find, it's always
everything.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it changes all the time.
Right.
I really encourage people to shop frequently because it does change as donations come in. So you can find flooring, and we have a beautiful selection of light fixtures. If you're trying to do an upgrade and a change out on a low budget, light fixtures are a good way to do it, and we've got beautiful ones. And you can find, we do carry appliances, so you could find a stove, you can find fridges, you can find microwaves. We have all kinds of doors. So we have exterior doors, we have interior doors at really good prices. You can find, we've had fencing. You might find things like I want to say shingles, and we have tar paper, and you might find office equipment. It really does change all the time. Bath vanities sell very quickly for us. Kitchen cabinets sell very quickly for us. We have countertops. Really, it just changes so much, and we try to have a little bit of what everybody's looking for.
I think you do. I know when I've stopped down there, it's overwhelming.
It's exciting. We do also, in our new space, we've been able to accept a few more home goods. So if people are looking to decorate and they're looking for pictures or some different kinds of dishes, we do have a small amount of that as well. So for that person that's not necessarily looking for flooring, This is also a place. We have some really nice table lamps and decorative kind of items as well.
Will you be expanding now that you have more room, expanding and taking more of that and getting the word out that those are items also, not only just construction items?
Right. So we have been letting people know we are taking home goods. Building materials far and away are the item we're always looking for first, because that's what people are looking to purchase. But home goods provide a nice secondary market for us.
Now, also when you do, and we're going to get into this a little bit about the building or renovating homes, do you use the items from your restore?
So
a lot of the time?
So our first option is always, if we can use it for a Habitat house, we take it first.
Okay.
So we've taken things like lights have come in. When we're doing a rehab house, we'll take a kitchen that comes in. So if we can make it work, we absolutely will take it to use it for our houses. If we've gotten before where people have donated a whole lot of paint supplies, we can use that on our construction teams, and so that we'll get extra rollers and floor coverings and that kind of thing. So yeah, first option is always to help us do our mission, and then secondarily put it in the store for the public to help us also do our mission work.
Okay, and you're saying that the Restore does help with the Habitat, the mission for the Habitat houses.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I'm sure people are aware of it, they've heard about and seen pictures of volunteers building a house. How does that process all start? In other words, how would someone be able to get a Habitat house? What are the qualifications and the procedures?
So we open up our application window 3 times a year. We do one in the winter, one in the spring, and one in the fall. So families that are interested in Habitat housing would call our office, and they would get some preliminary information, and then they come to an actual session where we explain the entire Habitat process, and then they complete an application. What we're looking for is families have to meet 3 criteria.
Okay.
They have to have the ability to pay. Habitat houses are not free.
I think people think that.
Yes, they are not free. What makes Habitat very different is, as Habitat is a Christian ministry, you don't have to be Christian to be involved, to volunteer, to participate, to even earn a home. However, we follow Christian principles. And in the Bible it says if you lend money, you won't charge interest, and so we don't. So Habitat mortgages are interest free.
Okay.
That's what makes it affordable. In almost every case, our families have been able to live in homes and pay less than what they were paying to rent.
Really?
Yes. So that's what makes it affordable. But they do need an ability to pay. It is a mortgage. Then the families have to have a housing need. So you can't just come to Habitat and say, hey, I'd like a 0% interest mortgage, right? So they have to have a need. So need for us can be anything from a physical deficiency in the structure. It could be an accessibility issue. It could be that they're cost overburdened. They can have overcrowding. Those kinds of things are things we look for. Then the last thing we look for is they really have to be willing to partner. Habitat is all about partnering. So part of that is they're going to be required to do what we call sweat equity. So they have to do 300 of these hours. They have to go to classes. They have to do their part on the work site. They're going to interact with volunteers. They're going to represent the mission. They have to be able to do all those kind of partnering things and be willing to do it.
And that would be 300 hours of different types of partnering activities.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. So if they meet all those criteria, then they're going to be advanced into our system. And then they start the program. It takes most of our families between 1.5 years and 2 years to get through the program.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes.
So it's just not an application and, okay, we're going to start your house tomorrow.
No. Because it's important on the mortgage side that both the financial side is improving, because families that come to us aren't eligible for traditional financing. So we've got some financial things to work through, and we spend a lot of time on that. But it also, families are working, and they've got their own families. So there's childcare issues and transportation issues and work issues. So trying to get these 300 hours done takes time. So we let families know this is not a fast fix for anybody.
Right.
But it's a process. And the kinds of things that change behind the scenes in that process is really quite amazing. Families make a lot of significant changes. I talk about the soft skill development that goes on. The house is really a tool for change. They learn how to budget. They learn how to spread their time. They learn responsibility. Okay. They have to do their own scheduling. I mean, there's a lot involved. And so families are really put to a challenge, and they rise over and over and over. And really, when they earn their opportunity for their house and you hand over keys, we feel confident that they're ready.
How exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I never thought about that, Nancy, but what you've done is you really have given them an opportunity to totally change their life, change the direction that they're going, and the way that their outlook on things also.
Absolutely.
How important. Oh my gosh, how satisfying.
It's very rewarding. It really is a privilege to be a part of somebody's, not only a desire is important, but the real work.
Right.
And they're making that commitment, and to be there along that path and help them, be their support, their guide, and then be there at the end and go, you did it.
I just feel so good inside.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Nancy, in these houses, though, are all the materials donated?
No. That's another
I would
myth.
think they would be.
Habitat has to raise the money to buy the materials.
Okay.
So we are always looking for financial support because materials are expensive. So just like you might, if you're doing a project and go to Lowe's or Home Depot or any one of the box stores, Habitat also has to go buy materials. So we have to raise that money in order to do that. So the Restore is a big help for that. We do some special events during the year. We have regular contributors. Sometimes we even get a house sponsor, which is really awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which really helps our ability to do that. So the nice part is, as people pay back their mortgages, we put them into what we call a revolving fund. So we have seed money to always start another house, which is great. But by the time they pay it back, we're not going to wait 25 years to build the next house. So we always have to fundraise in the gap.
How many homes in a year do you build?
We average probably 3.
3 a year?
Yeah, we've done as many as 5.
Wow, lady.
And we've done 5 back to back, and that's been a little crazy. But yeah, so we always are looking ahead and planning, and families are working on ours today. But I'm also looking at what the projects are going to be in a year from now, 2 years from now, because it takes time. We're always planning ahead.
Right. Okay, now, planning, building houses, the restore,
Yes.
takes a lot of manpower.
Yes.
It takes a lot doesn't it?
It does. It does.
And you can never have enough.
We can never have enough.
Never have enough of volunteers, let me tell
sure.
you. Being a volunteer,
Yes.
okay, how does that happen? And do I have to have, okay, we're talking about the houses, do I have to have construction experience to work on one of the houses?
It's actually very easy to be involved in Habitat as a volunteer. Simple phone call, few pieces of paper, and tell us when you're available. That's kind of that's how easy that part is. As far as coming to work on a work site, so a lot of people don't have skill.
Right.
And the coolest thing about Habitat is we take unskilled. You can literally come and have never picked up a tool. We'll show you how to do it. We'll give you the project for the day. You'll walk out of there literally having helped to build it, which is, I think, incredibly fun and very rewarding. It's a learning opportunity, right? So that if somebody wants to go home and do a project, we can actually, by them volunteering, they're learning and can go home and make a difference. And we kind of call that the ripple effect. And so you don't have to have skills. We take absolutely, our construction manager is awesome about teaching. We do have people that are skilled. They'll help you as well. If you are skilled, we take you as well. We're real happy about that. But if unskilled should not be a reason for somebody not to do it. But it's also, we're not limited to building. And that's what most people think. You can only come and help build a house. That's not true.
And I think that, really, I think a lot of our viewers may be thinking that well, Habitat for Humanity, they build houses. I have no experience in how to build a house.
Right.
So I, of course, can't help.
Right. So if it's a matter of no experience, you most certainly can help. We will teach you. But if you'd like to do something different, there are 10 different Habitat committees that all work on different parts of Habitat. So we have to find property. We have a church relations committee. We have a fundraising committee. We have a committee that helps us select families. We have a committee that helps walk families through the process. It's our partnership committee. They get to work directly with the families. And that's pretty cool.
Wow.
So there are lots of opportunities for people to give of their time and in different capacities.
Okay. So it doesn't have to be just construction. Well, let's put it this way. Nancy will find a place for you. If you call her, she will keep you busy. I can guarantee that.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyhow, how many volunteers do you usually have at one time?
On a given day, we try to keep our numbers to about 12.
Okay.
Sometimes we do a bigger build where we might take up to 20. But 12 is a good manageable number.
Right.
But if somebody wanted to bring a group of 4, that's perfect. That's great too.
Right. But I think it's easier to keep an eye on them to make sure, especially if some people are not real construction savvy, just kind of keep an eye on them.
Well, and sometimes the project space we're working in isn't a big space. And so you don't want to have so many bodies there at a time that you're bumping into people. You want to be able to freely do the task at hand.
If I'm doing a renovation, say I'm doing a kitchen, let's say bathroom renovation. Out of that renovation, and I'm gutting everything, what will you take from that? Will you take everything, or are there items that you wouldn't take?
So we would take your vanity if it's still in good condition, with your top if it's still in good condition. If you're trading out your medicine cabinet and it's in good condition, we'll take that. If you're trading your light fixtures, absolutely. If we would take your toilet if it's still in good condition as well. Tubs, we take some. Sometimes those we will take them, but oftentimes people can't get them out well.
Right.
So that's kind of if it's in good condition, we can do that. So yeah, we would take the majority of what you have. Your towel bars, we take those.
And like you said, those are things that even if they may be used in a Habitat house or sold. Okay, what items do you absolutely not take?
We take nothing upholstered. No couches, no lazy boys, nothing like that. I won't take any paint that is used. So you can't give me a quarter of a gallon, a half a gallon. Nope, it has to be a full gallon. Somebody wants to purchase it, they need to know they can go home and do a whole project.
Correct.
We won't take things that are broken. I won't take lumber that's less than 4 feet. I don't want your scrap pieces. If you wouldn't buy it, please don't donate it.
Got it.
You know, we want things that are still in really good condition. It's just a matter of you're trading out or it's extra. We don't want junk.
Okay. What about drapery? I mean, drapes, you know, curtains.
Right. We don't take
Nothing like
fabric
that.
drapes,
Okay.
but we'll take mini blinds.
Okay.
And we'll take the rods.
All right.
Those kinds of things.
Okay.
Now, if they were like we've had some brand new Roman shades, so that are still in the boxes, never been used, that kind of thing, we've been able to accept.
And again, sometimes it's you have to see it to see if you're going to be able
Correct.
to accept it or not.
Right. So if you're unsure, you can always call, or if you bring it, just understand that if we have to decline it, we're trying to be respectful of your willingness to donate, but it may really not be something we can take.
Yeah, don't take it personal. It just
Right.
might not meet your needs,
Right.
or something that you've taken before and you've run into problems with.
Right. And if I haven't mentioned it, that doesn't mean we don't accept it. Because
Right.
we get a lot of really cool things that you only see once in a while. So that might still be an item you have.
Well, and that's what is fun about shopping at the Restore also, because when you go in there at any given time, you might find that one-of-a-kind item and say, oh my gosh, I just have to have this. I do things like that, Nancy. I'm just saying.
We all do.
Yes.
We have all shopped at the Restore. I can tell you that.
Nancy, our time's coming to an end. Is
Yes.
there anything that you want to tell the viewers that we haven't been able to touch on or anything?
I would just remind them that the families are earning their opportunity. The houses aren't free. The families are working all these sweat equity hours. They're really trying to make a change for their family and for the future. And so when we have families that are coming through the process, I would really encourage people to support their efforts. This is not a handout. This really is a true hand up. These are families that are committed to making the difference and they're willing to work for it. And so I just really encourage the community to get behind the Habitat mission and what we're trying to do with families.
And Nancy, how can they get a hold of you or find more information?
So we have a website, habitaterie.org. They can always call our office, which our number is 454-7025, or they can follow us on Facebook. We post a lot of things between our Facebook and our Twitter and what's happening.
Oh, that's social media.
For sure.
Nancy, thank you so much for coming on the program, telling us about your move. I'm anxious to come and visit.
Please do.
So, viewers, also, when they get up and running, please, you've got to go down, you've got to visit and see what Nancy has new for you, new and exciting. So, and if you need more information, please give them a call, check out the website. Thank you for tuning in to the Millcreek Government Channel. Until next time, have a wonderful day.